Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of the new Revlon Photo Ready Insta-Filter Foundation. So this was sent to me by Revlon. They send me items now and then, and I am not obliged to do a review. They've not paid me to do this video. This is not an advert. This is my true and honest opinion. So they contacted me and asked me what shade I would like to try out. So I picked the same shade that I have picked for their colour stay, which is the shade Natural Tan. Now, if you guys remember, not long ago I did a video on that, and I remember saying that this shade was a tiny bit light for me. It is still the case, but that is also because then the next shade, which is I believe Caramel, is way too dark for me. Now it retails in the UK at £12.99, which is a nice affordable price for a foundation. For some reason it's 27ml, which is very odd. It's normally 30ml is the standard price, so I don't know why it's 27ml. Now, as part of the PR package that they sent me, they also sent me the Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer, which I will use in conjunction with this. And let me just read to you what their little marketing material leaflet says. So it says, Revlon's new Photo Ready Insta-Filter Foundation is a next generation product with an easy to use built-in blender for building coverage, making it easy to create a flawless finish anytime, anywhere. The innovative formula mimics the effects of filters for a picture-perfect look. The formula also contains high-definition filter technology which captures and transforms light to create a soft focus effect and soften flaws. Available in a full range of 11 high-definition shades that last all day, Revlon's Photo Ready Insta-Filter Foundation gives an instant, fresh-faced, natural and flawless finish in your own photo filter in a bottle. Okay, so first off, for some reason they've written available in a full range of 11 high-definition shades. There is actually 12 shades, and I don't really think that that is something to shout about. It's 2018, people. Revlon, you have been around since before I was born. 12 shades. 12 shades. Out of the 12 shades, I'm shade 9. So if you're black or dark skinned, you're pretty much ignored. There's one deep shade, that's it. The rest are all either very, very, very light, one or two medium shades, and one deep shade, and that's it. Like, ugh. It says that it's got an easy to use built-in blender for building coverage. So this is what it looks like. It's a plastic case. Here is the sponge, which is attached to the top. It's odd, people. It's odd. It's weird, and it's unnecessary. I know the brands out there are always trying to be very innovative and very creative when it comes to product packaging, but we're simple people. You just approach us in a simple way and we will be simply happy. This kind of faff, like, it doesn't blend, it makes it patchy. It's not as like a beauty sponge. I applied it for the first time, I used it, and I was like, okay, I need to get my brush out, because it was making blending very difficult and it wasn't easy at all. Also, you have to twist the bottom to get the product to come out of the top. It comes out in a hole. Can you see that hole there where it's clearly leaked? Now, I was turning it and I was expecting that click, click, click noise that lets you know that it is turned. So I'm turning it, nothing's happening. Shake it around a bit, pushed at the sponge. I was like, is it broken? Turn it, turn it, turn it. It literally flew out like in slow motion, like, you know, in a film, it's like, whoa, all over my beige carpet. My beige carpet. It went everywhere, and I hadn't noticed exactly where it landed, so I stepped in it too and moved it all over the place. Luckily, I have found out a little hack for you guys. The best way to get foundation, or fresh foundation even, actually even old foundation, out of carpet is to use like an oil. I use Primark's Cleanse Off oil and about 30 pieces of cotton wool, and I managed to clean it all off. But seriously, I just don't think that this packaging is very well thought out, and I really do not like this sponge at the top. So for those two negative reasons, I give this foundation an 8 out of 10. I will give you obviously my other reasons why I've given it as well. But 12 shades is not good enough. That is enough to minus you down 1 point. And this dodgy sponge, which is more of a hindrance than a help, is another minus point. Especially, I will not know when it has finished. If there's any remnants at the bottom of the tube, I will not be able to get it out, because this can't, I think you can remove it from what I can see, but it will be a bit of a mess and it's just too much of a hassle. It says mimics the effects of filters for a picture perfect look. Definitely. Soft focus effect to soften flaws. Definitely. I've got textured skin, I've got marks, I've got pigmentation, I've got scars. Covers it all beautifully. An instant fresh face, natural and flawless finish. Definitely. The actual product itself is pretty damn good. Not gonna lie, it's actually really good. I actually prefer this to the Colour Stay foundation, which I find quite thick, very difficult to blend if you don't blend it quickly enough. And I find that this doesn't dry as quickly as well, meaning that you can move it around and manipulate it around your face at your own pace without having to rush. It's a really good medium to buildable coverage foundation. It's a very natural, blurred, soft finish effect, which I love. It doesn't go patchy, it doesn't oxidize, which again is great, especially considering there are only 12 shades. The last thing you need is for that one shade that just about matches you to change while it's on your face. It evens out skin tone as well. Now in terms of wear time, I got to about hour 10 before I started to look slightly shiny, but I wasn't like greasy looking shiny. It was more of kind of like a healthy kind of shine. At that point it does, and it also transfers slightly, not too much. As long as you have powdered down your foundation, I would always suggest powdering your foundation. Wear a primer, it helps keep your foundation in place all day, and then make sure that you set your foundation afterwards as well to get rid of any tackiness, to help the longevity of the foundation as well. These kind of steps are important rather than just relying on the foundation itself. Now it has got a liquidy-ish formula, and what I tend to do with this is I actually squeeze out a little bit and I dot it everywhere because it is a hole at the top, and then I use any kind of brush to blend it out. I think it works better with a brush rather than a beauty blender because it is fairly liquidy, and a beauty blender will soak up much of the product, whereas a brush will more move it around and make sure that you are getting a value for your money rather than wasting it. Let me just pull out my nose stud before I start this review. First off, I'm going to use the Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer. I actually quite like this primer. It's not too heavy and it makes my face feel slightly moisturized as well. And I think it's pretty good. Let me start off by saying, in case you're wondering what this is, I just dyed my hair, people. My nails are scabby as well. So I got hair dye on my forehead, scabby nails. So now that we've got past that, okay, so now that my primer is on, you can see that it's a slightly mattifying primer. Do I look suddenly a little bit white on camera? And a little bit matte as well. Obviously that's white, so that's the reason why I look a little bit pale, but that does not interfere with the colour of the foundation. Now the foundation itself, its finish, I would personally say is kind of a demi matte, so that's why you look nice and natural. It's not overly matte, but then it's not dewy either, and that's my personal perfect mix. And I'm just going to use this NYX professional makeup brush. I think it's actually a blush brush, but I've been using it for foundation. It works pretty well. So here we have one layer of the foundation. As you can see, it gives a really nice coverage. For those of you out there that don't really have that many issues, pigmentation, scarring marks, that sort of thing, one layer will definitely be enough. But because I need extra coverage on my cheeks, I'm just going to apply a tiny little bit more. But it really does blend beautifully. It's got like a perfumed scent, but it's nothing overbearing, not like the Huda Beauty one, which is just too much. It's too heady. This one's got a very fresh scent. I'm sure it's the same scent as the other foundation of theirs. So I'm just going to dot a couple of little dots here. Not too much. But what I'm doing is I'm just pushing it into the skin rather than blending it. Because the foundation had started to dry, if I start to blend it, it can cause drag marks. Because it is a kind of foundation that really sticks to your skin. And when you've got textured skin, what you really want to do is kind of push into the texture to kind of fill it out. Especially if they've got all those fancy schmancy words of like photo ready, finish, filter, this, that and the other. So you want to see it in action, you know. Okay, so that's it for the Insta-Filter foundation on my face. It's already starting to feel a little bit tacky, but that's because it's not quite dry yet. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and show you the finished effect, how it looks. As you can see on camera, it is a little bit light for me. I will be back. Okay, so the rest of my face is now done. Just for reference, on my lips I'm wearing Makeup Geek's Plain Jane Plush Matte. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah, so now that everything is set, I used the Peach Perfect mattifying powder by Too Faced to set my face. It now feels nice and lovely and soft. I am aware that it is a tiny bit light for me, which annoys me slightly, but again, for the purposes of this video, I'm obviously wearing it to show you guys what it looks like on my medium skin tone. For reference, in MAC I'm an NC40. I would say that this is more like an NC37. But yeah, hopefully over the next couple of weeks as my tan fades, it will suit me a lot more. But I definitely say that there is not enough yellow in this shade to match my very yellow skin tone. I think it's a little bit more neutral for somebody like me. So if you've got more neutral undertones even, the shade Natural Tan will definitely work a lot better for you. If you're an NC42, probably the shade Caramel will work well, but I sit obviously clearly somewhere in between. But yeah, so it looks lovely and like natural looking. It doesn't look overly done. It looks a little bit matte at the moment, but it's still fresh on my face, as I've said, freshly powdered and everything. But as the day goes on and it settles more into my skin, it will definitely look a lot more natural. So that's it for my review of the Revlon Photo Ready Insta-Filter Foundation. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you've got any comments or questions about the foundation, just ask me below and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to do. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!